I think when you're working close with the community and you understand the problems from the core of the community, like really just the kids, the parents, and that will make a difference. And I think that's really more what honestly is a co-design process, really understanding all, like more like a participatory design, putting everything together on the table and understand things. It is important to have these things connected, because if you have to show the value of this process, you have to show the value of the impact, you have to connect. I think that's the important of the social practice, connections. So creating conversations. So you have to really make this work, open the doors and talk. And I think that's the coolest thing about being an artist. It's more than the showing the work, it's just creating this type of conversation. Okay, yes, let's create the environment to talk about very difficult things that sometimes you cannot talk in another different. I'm an immigrant, I'm a mother, and the BCYF has been a tool for me since the beginning. Before working with the BCYF as an artist, I was involved with the BCYF as a mother and as a resident. History is really what shaped what it is. And in this case, for example, immigration is what shaped Hyde Park what it is. And this is where the role of the artist came here, to really how to use these tools as a civic practice and incorporate it into art, and incorporate it into pieces that it makes sense to create environments, to create conversations between community, connections, and really just like a safe place. You have to stick with it, and it's something that I think this is the best time, because we already created a path. And I think that path is very valuable. I think the hardest thing that happened within this transition, it was the community to understand what we were doing. And I think after a year, when they were seeing the results, I was like, look at the difference, like in my own center, it's been huge. Or if it's, for example, if a studio's place, it's something that you can drag people to the community. The value of the community centers is that it's more than city organization, it's a place of gathering. And so you don't have to stick with the BCYF policy for doing a project. You can use the community center with the support of the city to create a project from outside. That's totally feasible. And people use the community center in so many ways. Boston Nerd has a lot of potential to get into that point, because I think when the program is so close to the city and so close to the structure, if they work together, I think it could do changes. I think sometimes just if they work individually, like I have worked in the community with small organizations, I don't know how much change you can really do. So that's how the idea came out of creating video cameras. So those are video cameras. They are fully working. This one is pretty cool because you see they had a hole, so you can actually point it. I think that was very brilliant. Let me show you everything that is inside, boys. You might like this. So this is the Raspberry Pi. So can you believe this is a computer? And it's like a very affordable computer, like $25 computers. And those are LEDs. You want to touch one? This is like your Legos, huh? No, that's your Legos. It's small, like you just putting them in here. So it's like a building things. That robot that is there is like a very complex Lego. And you connect the powers with this. I will say it makes it strong. Like I think it's threatening. I think it's super important. I think the fact, for example, that the BCYF has 47 organizations around the city, and you have the opportunity to really be embedded with the community, which is the most close to change. Boston is changing rapidly. And it's kind of scary how fast it's happening. These communities that have been here for 20 and 30 years, they don't know where to attach now anymore because it's just going extremely faster. So every time that I have the opportunity to go outside of the gallery, it's an opportunity to bring art to the streets. Like the idea of using the Bill of Rights is just with everything that is happening right now in the world, it's important to remember that the rights that we have as an immigrant or in the minorities, in what we deserve and what we should know to make sure nobody go against our priorities against our rights. But sometimes we just need to put the text right in front of us to really remind us that we are valuable humans and we have rights and we have a voice that needs to be heard and all those things. So everybody is important and everybody has a word to say thanks. We already created a path, and I think that path is very valuable. I think the hardest thing that happened within this transition, it was the community to understand what we were doing. And I think after a year, when they were seeing the results, I was like, look at the difference. Like in my own center, it's been huge. So I think it's very important to be very sensitive about the community. I think like it's pretty good to talk. I think the biggest danger, and I learned that in the past, is just going to a community very quickly, very little research, and trying to create a peace. That's a recipe for failure.